Hi, Carl Ann. Good morning.
Morning, Christian. How are you?
Oh gosh, wait, hold on. I'm glad I talked to you when you joined earlier. Can you talk again? I don't think I can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Um, hold on a minute.
Wait, is it me? No, it's not me.
Turn your mic on.
No. It should be. No, I'm unmuted. What do you mean?
Click on that arrow down there.
He's up there in the house, right in the house.
So Carl Ann's here. I can't hear her. Yeah,
Switch to.
yeah, TV sounds up.
At the top, it says select the microphone.
So I'm sharing screen in Zoom.
Where's your volume connected? How'd you connect your,
My
did
volume,
it say when you?
which is coming out of my laptop. Coming out of speakers. Check.
Say something. Anything. Carl Ann, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Can you say something? You can't, but we can't hear you still?
Hello, hello, hello.
Well.
Oh wait, it is muted.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe. Oh,
I heard something.
try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yay.
thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. I think I got it. Okay.
Cool.
Wait. Wait to be.
Should I be taking notes or do you have some type of a PDF sheet you can send?
Oh, you should take notes. All up here.
Okay.
Oh, how can you get in? It's in the event. Did you come straight here?
No, I had to run home and switch cars. I had to go get my mother-in-law's car.
Oh, shoot. Oh, and you're on vacation from all the houses you've been selling.
Yes, and I see you are in my neck of the woods. I drive by one of your homes for sale like every other day.
Oh gosh, I can guess. Wait, where? Dover?
Over on Delia.
Oh, okay.
How much are you listing that one for?
99.
99. Okay.
Mhm.
How big is it?
It's 1,008 square feet.
1,008. Okay.
It's currently a short-term rental for like $1,300 a month. Is what they pay for short-term renters. It's good vacant, good occupancy and stuff, so that's cool.
Is the renter gonna stay? Or no?
Right now, there's somebody in there for a month.
Oh, just okay.
It's like traveling nurses, doctors, people like that typically stay
Okay.
there.
Nice.
We're gonna get started in a minute. I would love to see all your faces though. I hope you guys can turn on your cameras.
This is a rarity. This is like the first time in like the last 10 Zooms that I've actually put my face on.
I'm cleaning, so I'm like walking around the house while I listen.
That's cool. Well, thank you for coming, Emily. And
Of course.
yeah.
Recording in progress.
Now, who are you? What's your first name? The Hoppy? Oh, Mary. Cool. Nice to meet you, Mary. Thanks for being here. I think we can probably get started. So the class is moving from E to P. Carlin, you were in bold. I don't know if anybody else here was in bold. But moving from E to P is going from entrepreneurial to purposeful. A little bit of vocabulary is that a inventor like Thomas Edison went and invented 100 inventions and 1 or 2 were successful. Says entrepreneurs can't go on 100 appointments and have 1 or 2 be successful. Or we're not wanting to have such a low success rate. So being purposeful is about being laser focused at one thing, and that being what is setting us apart from the other entrepreneurs that are in this industry. So firstly, I know they're not here, but I want to give a big thanks to Mark and Amanda for letting me host this class. And I want to thank all of you for being here. I made this class at 9 o'clock in the morning because I am a firm believer that if you're in a class at 9 a.m. trying to learn, then you're already wanting to separate yourself from other people. Mentally, spiritually, health-wise, whatever it may be. So it's just so cool to have you guys all in one room with me. So a lot of us have this culture where we spend time on social media and we envy the people who are doing better than us or have what we want. Or we're so used to life the way it is that we're simply a bystander to everything on social media. And me, I have a little bit of a monkey mind. And a monkey mind is like monkey see, monkey do. So I've been able to ride on this thing of following what other people do and just like being a follower and that being the way to being successful. So my heart was never really in it. And it was all about the money, the personal feeling I would get of being successful just by having that success, like feeling like I achieved some level of happiness or feeling like there would be some level of fulfillment essentially from getting that success. And so there's really 3 ways that people get successful. They call their shots, their reverse engineering processes, or it's just trial and error until something works. So I remember in school, my teacher would ask us to mirror something at the beginning of the year to show that we're listening. So she would be like, in class, so everybody's talking and put her finger on her nose and everybody else would. And in this industry, you're competing with so many entrepreneurs and it becomes more difficult recently because there's less business per agent to be had. So why does everything seem like a broken water line? Like, why is everybody going off, starting their own teams, giving up their personal time to show houses, switching companies, buying leads. Think about it. I mean, how many of you guys remember what your first commission check was? And there's that feeling that you get when it hits your bank account that high, that is like unlike anything else. I worked at McDonald's before this, and it was like my biggest amount of money I ever had in my bank. My team has over 15 listings coming up in the next 90 days, and we have a bunch more to come. And people are chasing commission income for one of two reasons: because they want to feel successful, or they want to fund their goals and their dreams. My personal goal right now is to be able to take paternal leave whenever my daughter comes in about a month and a half, and also be able to unplug for a week later on this year and take a vacation. And that's not going to be easy, and it's going to take a lot of work for our team to hit those goals. That's awesome. I think you can do it. Sebastian is on about day 90 right now, and he's just getting ready to go under contract, hopefully today, with his first buyers that he's helped from point A to point Z. So good work. Good work getting the first step done. No, but to get real, like what changed for me in the past year was that I heard something that was like, who's going to be at your funeral? And I think the problem is some people will set their focus on something that they think they want and never actually really think about what the outcome would be of that. Has anybody here had a job that they wanted to quit and they just stayed there for way too long? Like for me, I put in a 2-week notice at McDonald's, not because I was going to make any more money, but it was because I was just tired of it. And so every day that last 2 weeks, I wanted to call in that morning and be like, I can't come in today. Like, I just can't do it, you know? And, you know, the last 2 weeks were really tough. And we all know that feeling, I'm sure. But you leave your job May 11th. Well, hit this hard. How many of you here wake up every morning like real estate is a job? Like, oh, Ann. And we know you do. That's awesome.
But I'm also dual career.
And your dual career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna monitor the chat. Mary, I would be curious what your plan looks like. Why don't you share with us what your plan looks like as to how you want to transfer over chat, and we'll read it and talk about it in a minute. That's cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm monitoring the chat here too. So it's a very, very hard time to go full time in real estate. And this experience that you're about to go through is one where you want to have your goals kind of made out from the beginning. So like for somebody starting out, if I was going back and talking to myself starting out, I would want my heart to be in the same place that my mentality was. So the mentality of going out and selling, and not really having like the will to go out and actually help people, just wanting to make money, was leaving me feeling like super empty after a while, because like I had all this money in my bank account, and there was even times where I didn't have the money in the bank account, and I thought that this was what fulfilled me, but once I got it, it was like giving me opportunity, but the life that I was living still wasn't like this dream life that I thought. So really, when it comes to putting your mental health on the same tier as your business and being purposeful instead of entrepreneurial, it's like about your perspective. So for me, like it starts with the mornings. How many of you have heard the 80-20 rule? Cool. So 80-20 rule is that 20% of your success, or I'm sorry, 80% of your success is coming from 20% of your activities. And you could group the morning as your 20%. If you can kill the morning, then the rest is going to come. And also, like as a real estate agent, your 20% is typically lead generation, finding listings, finding buyers, and you can service those leads. Anybody can service those leads after. And a big piece of it would be to make sure all the other areas of your life are getting hit before you get into the business every day. So if you're waking up and going straight to the office and like rolling out of bed, or if you're waking up and going straight to work, then that's what's going to be like what you're feeling all day. It's just that energy that got you from there to there. And it might be ambition that brought you to that, or it might be like excitement to hit your goals. But for me, I realized that I wanted a more well-rounded approach. Like I wanted to have every single thing in my life fueling me toward that thing that is office time. Because I want to get off at a decent hour. I want to hit my goals and go and spend time with my family. And for me, what those goals look like is 50 dials every day, and one appointment every day. Because if I'm not going on an appointment, then like, what did I do? So there's this rule though, that if you're a real estate agent, you should have yearly goals for yourself. Break those down into monthly goals. And there's this 15-day rule. That's like, if you're not hitting your goals for the month by day 15 of the month, you have to like seriously reevaluate your approach. You have to reevaluate everything, because are you really being serious to yourself? Or are you just fluffing things up? So my mornings every morning are like pretty cool. Like I feel really good right now because I did my mornings right. I typically will set my phone outside of my bedroom before bed, play my podcast from the other room with a timer to turn it off, have my alarm on my phone, charging in the living room while I'm in my bedroom. And then I wake up, turn my alarm off, take a screenshot of the time that I woke up for accountability, to then post it on my social media with my other accountability partners who are doing the same thing. And then get a little bit of book reading done. So I'll literally sit on the couch by my phone with a flashlight on to read about 3 pages of a book. And hyperhydration is a huge one too. Like my color in my face was like drained for a really long time, and I wasn't focusing. I would not be focused, and it was because I was not drinking enough water. So if you're ever feeling like down, just drink water. So in the morning before 9 a.m., I drink 3 bottles of water. I don't know however many ounces that is. 20, 32, it'd be like 48 ounces of water before 9 a.m. And then also affirmations. So my affirmations are like my limiting mindset, my limiting beliefs. I really hate going on appointments or preparing for appointments. I like the appointment while I'm there and like socializing and stuff, but I hate the feeling like leading up to it. So I have a affirmation that I say every day. It's I like going on appointments. I have a goal financially. Whatever your goal is financially, triple it. And then make your affirmation, I enjoy making X amount of dollars a year or more. And I did that for 1 year and I made the amount of money that was like on my affirmation. They do work. I know you have to put in the effort too. Like an affirmation alone isn't going to get there. But if you're driven and you're not doing affirmations, then you're just so much less likely to hit it. So for yourselves, balancing your time with your family and work and making sure you're getting your physical fitness in, eating right, things like that, you can say these affirmations, put your all in while you're at the office and still go home at a decent hour and like have a really good chance of hitting those goals. For a long time, I think I had this perspective of myself that in order to become great and in order to become like who I wanted to be, I needed to dedicate every waking moment to real estate sales. And to me, I feel like now, like I sold my soul a little bit because every minute of every day you're thinking about it. And, I look back at the state of relationships with friends, my hobbies that I used to do, everything just being cut out to pursue this goal. And this feeling of wanting balance in your life is all in your mentality. Balance is totally false. So like when I said chaos is comforting in the name of this class, really what I was going for is that it's comforting to work at your absolute best. Not real estate. I'm talking making sure all the areas of your life is taken care of. It's comforting to know that you're doing your best. But then also the amount of routine that goes into maintaining these things is like a full-time job. So the routine for me of drinking water every morning is helping my health. And it's also chaotic in the mornings because I'm like chugging waters. And it's the same thing with working out in the mornings and all the things I do for my personal health. Were you raising your hand, Caroline?
I was. I agree with the water thing. When I get up, the first thing I do is I get myself 8 ounces of water just to start your metabolism. I'm a nurse, so I know like all of the good things about drinking water. And also one thing that I've found that helps give me a little more clarity to start my day while I'm drinking my glass of water, I have 2 brain games that I do. It's probably about between 5 and 10 minutes to do, but I feel like that gets my brain moving in the morning. So that's been very helpful. And I've been doing it for years and it's been great.
So how do you feel whenever you don't drink water in the mornings? Like, does it make a big difference for you? Because I know you're drinking less, and I'm wondering.
I mean, doing the 3 is great. There's an 8x8 rule. You should be doing at least 64 ounces of water a day. So eight
Mm.
8-ounce glasses of water. But just to start with one, a lot of people just don't even like get the fact that you need to be in your day with at least one glass of water to start.
Mm.
So I do feel better. I feel a lot better just, because it kicks things into gear for the day. It gives you clarity. It's a great thing. So I couldn't recommend that more to everybody here on Zoom, and habit stacking too. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll drink my glass of water, and while I'm drinking my water, I'll also start a pot of coffee, but not losing that time because I'm consuming that water, but also doing something else that I do on the daily at the same time.
Mm. You guys heard it from the nurse. There's a challenge called the 75 hard challenge. I would highly recommend it to everybody, and it's 75 days straight of hard work to make yourself better. And part of the challenge is to drink a gallon of water every day. And I know that like rapid hydration is super important for health. So the workouts that I do, I will work out every day. And then I'm also meditating. So who here meditates? So when I get done meditating, I feel like I'm on a cloud. Like it's almost like a grounding type thing where I spend 10 or 15 minutes doing it. And by the end of like, I wish I could show you, I have this chair in the corner of this training room, right under the ALC board, like hidden in the corner. So I could just come in here in the mornings and just like meditate and be undisturbed. I'm so happy nobody walks in on me when I'm doing that. So, couple different meditation notes I would say would be, the groundedness is cool, but also as I'm talking about all these things that I'm doing in the mornings, not only is it like good for the day, but you begin to sow these seeds of stuff that you're going to see results from like 6 months from now. So when I'm doing my meditation, sometimes I'll do visualizations and other times I'll do regular meditation. I'm going to tell you a couple of the different types of what that looks like based off studies and from books and stuff I've learned in Bold. So the Bold meditation, prayer and scripture. Yeah, prayer and scripture is excellent. It's absolutely excellent. If you guys don't follow a church or anything like that, even if you're not religious, I would recommend attending a sermon or something like that, because the lessons that you learn from that stuff is life-changing. Like you don't even need to be because I've never been that way, but it's so cool how much lessons there are to be learned. So thanks for sharing that. Really. I'm glad you were feeling called to do that. For me, what was I saying about meditation? So the thing that Hudson Warren taught us that I was doing from the previous Bold is to close your eyes. This is how every meditation starts. Close your eyes, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then feel like your limbs are like cement. So like completely lose all control on all limbs. So typically I'll focus on my shoulders. Okay, my shoulders could be a little less tense. Focus on my legs. Okay, my legs are like jello. My arms are like jello. My back is like jello. And then bring it all the way up to like where my jaw is just like in this natural state where it's like halfway open. And just like focus on the breathing for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And after you get into like this state where you're kind of feeling like a little bit drifting off, that's when I'm now going to tell you what I do from there. The first is imagine yourself up in the bedroom from whenever you were a child, whatever your childhood bedroom was, and walk, assuming you're on the second level of your house, and walk down the steps. And then with every step, inhale positivity, and exhale negativity with every step. And inhale and exhale. And then once you get to the bottom of your staircase, when you take that final step, imagine yourself in a beach paradise. And think about the details there. Think about the smells. Think about what you're seeing. Think about what you're feeling. And just sit there for a couple minutes. That's a good one because for a lot of us, we want to be able to take vacations. And we're on this journey right now from when we were kids in that bedroom to when we're able to take these vacations. And so you're showing that with every step, you're walking closer to that goal. Another one that I do is a meditation around, it's actually a similar thing. So you can take any successful thing you've done in your life. Let's say the first time you ever tied your shoes, or for me, one that I would use different ones all the time, but say it was like the first time I bought my property, and the pride I felt when signing off on the documents and moving in. So I would start the meditation. I would think about those moments where I would work really hard to save up the money to get pre-approved. The constant perseverance it took to go out and find houses, and then the hard work that I put in to get through the financing, the underwriting process. You guys know all the hard things that it takes to get a home. But then finally signing. And after you think about that whole good process, you relate it to whatever goal it is that you're struggling to achieve. So our team wants to hit 150 units. And so I then, after I'm done visualizing that, imagine what is it now going to look like for me to get called up on the award stage in March for the triple platinum or whatever it is award. What am I going to feel? What is it going to do for me? And I visualize myself walking up there, grabbing that, what it symbolizes, all of those things, because that's where I see myself. So you take a thing that you've already been successful at. Like I said, it could be tying your shoes, tying your tie. It could be anything. And then relating it to something you're struggling with, and you're teaching your subconscious to navigate to that end goal and have that success like you had with these simpler things in life. So that's one. And then for a person who role plays, do you guys role play? Is there people role playing in this room? So I role play, but role playing honestly can only do so much, like reading a piece of paper and memorizing words. This is a life changer. So if you're having a conversation with a millionaire, say you meet him and he's talking about all the properties he owns, and then you're like, oh, well, I am a realtor. And he's like, oh yeah, well, thank you. But I don't know if it's a good time to sell. And you're like, okay, well, I'd be here to answer your questions if you ever need it. Go back to your office and beat yourself up. Not really, but think about and you're probably like, gosh, I probably could have gotten them to list the properties, or say you could have done something better, because we can all do better conversation. So I visualize going through that conversation. However, I'm doing it with total control, because there is no obligation for me to answer a question right away. There is no feeling as if I'm rushed to answer. So you can take a conversation as slowly as you want in your head, and you can learn from it, and you can anticipate what his responses then would be and how that conversation would build into you actually getting a listing appointment at one of his $1 million properties. So this works and translates across all conversations. And that's what's been so powerful with me, is almost like you're carrying a voice recorder with you to all your appointments or to every conversation you have. And then you're going back and studying it later and making changes of what you could do. That's essentially what it's doing, but you're doing it through meditation. I would say those are probably the big ones. And you guys are new meditators, and you're going to jump into this, I'm sure. So what questions do you have about that?
I'd like to go back and just ask, your first year, Christian, how many units did you sell your first year in real estate?
10? I actually went, it was actually 12. Then I did 10 the next year, so I did less. And then I did 50. And then I did 52. And then this year we did 62. Oh, you're having a hard time hearing her? Mary Carwan just asked how many houses I sold in my first year. So, yeah. For all my people who are not doing physical activity, or for all my people who have ADHD, maybe I should say, because I definitely do. Doing physical activity in the mornings helps me feel grounded every day, because I don't have the energy to butt into what somebody's saying, interrupt people, jump off the walls, be unfocused. It's very grounding to go and like exhaust yourself. And so at the beginning of the day, I am matching my protein intake with my body weight minus 20 pounds. So I'm like 170. So I take 150 grams of protein every day, and I count that because I'm trying to get bigger. Gratitude is a straightforward one. So I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for whatever I'm grateful for that day. And do you guys, does anybody want to share any tips on gratitude and like maybe anything around that they do? I think gratitude is really cool one to do along with what I call the positivity exercise. My parents were very like, I had a parent who was very pessimistic and instilled that in me. And I didn't have a lot of positive things to say about anything for a really long time, because that's just how I saw things. What I've done to try to cut that out is find something that I'm ready to like say the meanest thing in the world about, and then just find something good to say about it instead. So my wife and I were in the car this morning, and we were like, what's something positive we can say about this litter on the side of the road? And she said, like, it's a great opportunity or it's a way for somebody to change the world, or make the world better. And we both said something. So that's a good one. Jess is talking about the 15-point power plan by Ben Kinney, a Keller Williams agent, where energy goes hand in hand with being purposeful in your life, because with good energy, you can appear to be a more energetic friend, energetic about everything in the world. So being purposeful is really, really about having good energy. So yeah, I think the thing that I want to communicate is balance is not the same for everybody. Carl Ann's idea of a balanced life, isn't going to be the same as Kat's idea of a balanced life. I go and work for about 15 hours every day. And a lot of people wouldn't say that that's balanced. I'm at peace with what I do. And it's what leaves me energized. I get out of work and I feel more energized than I did when I walked in. So my idea of balance is what makes me happy. And so what more can you ask for? Balanced life is whatever you're feeling the happiest, the healthiest, and the most use of what you were put on this earth to do, the most fulfilled of achieving that purpose. Multitask for mental and physical wisdoms. No, right on the reservoir walking path. So we just left the mayor's breakfast for the mayor of Massillon, and I won the community service award for the city of Massillon. And the reason is because we went and cleaned up the city last year and picked up litter, and we're doing that again this year on June 3rd. And if anybody would like to volunteer to help clean up litter this year, please hit me up. We're going to be at the reservoir up on those hills. Michelle, just look at those hills around. There's litter all around them. If you know the reservoir, it's like kind of in this like gully type thing. And all the hills are surrounded with litter. So we're gonna clean those up this year, and it would be really cool to see some of you guys participate and stuff. And that's another thing that gives me energy and makes me feel purposeful in my life. So does anybody want to share some takeaways that I can maybe talk to you about, or any challenges that you're facing about being purposeful? I would trust that anything that's said in this Zoom call, we can keep it between us. And this could be a little bit of a safe space, because I know we all struggle with, our purpose and feeling purposeful at times.
I do have a question for you. I know you were talking about scripting. Is that something you spend on the daily? And if so, how long are you practicing scripting?
Yeah. So I would say at my current state, I've scripted for so long that it's kind of internalized. So I spend about 10 minutes a day just like skimming through my scripts. However, it's not necessary. And in the beginning, I was spending 45 minutes a day scripting. I was usually breaking it up into 3 15-minute increments, or 1 30-minute increment and 1 15.
I would just say, like, I have a hard time with like prioritizing my time and like what I'm going to do each day. So I need to get better at that. But I also want to just say that, like, you have like the most calming presence, and like you're so easy to listen to and you're very inspirational. So I just wanted to say that too.
You made that's the best thing anybody said to me today, Emily. So thanks for making my day.
Thank
So,
you for having this class.
yeah, most definitely. So with time management, I can tell you time blocking is what is big for me. I took what's called the driven test the other day. And if you just look it up, you can find it. It's iamdriven.com, and it tells you like what type of driven person you are. And I'm a very high on perfectionist. And so when it comes to planning out my day, the first day I started at Keller Williams, I was giving the time blocking shot for the first time. So right after I got out of orientation, I made up this time blocking sheet, which I could honestly probably find it and just share with you what it looks like. Just prints it out for me now, so I don't. But it's like this 15-minute increments of the whole entire day of what I'm planning on doing. But then also, I think the big thing is with time blocking is prioritizing what's non-negotiable. And so for me, the biggest non-negotiable is going to be calling from 9 to 11 a.m. every day. And I do my absolute best to not schedule anything between the hours of 9 and 11 a.m. For that reason. So that goes along with this ideal morning idea. I do all the stuff I just talked about doing, and then I do my 20% at work first thing at 9 a.m. And then after that, like I'm riding off the momentum of the day. So I would say focus on your most important stuff in the morning, and then the rest of the day, you're kind of freestyling. Like get an appointment at least in the afternoon, but otherwise, like so tell me more about prioritizing. I mean, you're understanding that giving yourself time to lead generate is the important thing here. But is there anything else, like other categories in your life where you're wondering what you should be doing first that I could maybe help with?
No, not really. I just have I just do need to like sit down and time block everything because I'm just all over the place.
Mm.
It's hard too because like I have the kids that I have to drop off and pick up, and so I have like a small window of time like in between, or at least it feels like it. So that time I need to manage better when I don't have them and they're at school.
I hear you. Yeah. I think that recently for me, like I heard, and as I talked about like attending church and stuff like that, like I'm not crazy religious, but the lessons that you learn are so powerful. And so recently, it's called Life Church, by the way, that's where I go. And they were talking about patience and like, why are you not getting what it is you're wanting to get right away? And the reason is because you're not ready for it, or God or whoever it is, or the universe is still working on it. So whenever you're super impatient and you're waiting for those things to happen, you should serve. You should put your time towards helping people and trying to make a positive change. Because quite frankly, that's where we grow the most, is when we're trying to make positive change and whenever we're trying to help others. Like this class, I learned more about being purposeful by learning about the class than that's a huge takeaway, and it's just about serving. So I would say, Emily, don't ever compare your insides to other people's outsides and how their lives look, give yourself grace for the things that you're not able to accomplish daily that you feel like you should be accomplishing. And the moment that you feel at peace with those things and you're telling yourself it's okay that I didn't do that, that's typically when you can come around and expect for your mental to say, okay, it is time to do these things. Once I learned that, it was like chains off my shoulders.
Thank you.
Mhm.
One more thing I'd like to add.
Mhm.
Having taken Bold, for me, that was life changing because he was such an intense personality. He required us to get things done, and that really pushed me into the highest gear I've ever been in real estate. I can't say enough great things about him. And if he does come back, I would highly suggest that class to everybody who has not taken Bold, because I promise you, you will not regret it. It was just amazing. Absolutely. You know, and I know you were talking about like time blocking, but you know, just for the fact that he made us time block for the rest of the year, every single day, like it's in my calendar. I just need to kind of push myself to follow what I put in there, but at least it's in there. You know, and then I have reminders that come through my phone half hour prior to the start of that task. Yeah, he was just amazing. I got the most leads from taking that class because it was, you know, the competitive drive from table to table, you know, and writing those numbers up there were just, it was intense. I really loved it. And he was just beyond amazing. I loved him so much.
I love that, Carla, and thanks for sharing. You know, I think of Mark as like a very, spiritual person, very, a person who really cares about others. And when I was doing 10 units a year, I was working like crazy hours. Like I was working like 12, 13 hours a day sitting in the office, and I was doing 10 units. Mark suggested Bold to me, and I turned it down. I was like, I'm busy. I'm busy in the office. I'm not going to take this. He got me the Bold scholarship and covered Bold for me. And because of Bold alone, my business grew by 450, 500%. So there's two Bold testimonials. It can be very powerful if you're ready for it, I think. And to speak to that, yeah, here's my calendar. I've got my mine on the left, and then I have a cyberbacker shares her calendar with me, and that's on the right. So these are like my non-negotiables. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I thought about making a presentation about this, but I wanted to just share these things with you that were in my head that I felt like I needed to share. But yeah, this is like what I have to give you guys. So I hope it was helpful. Is there anything else anybody wants to add to the conversation, or anything that people are feeling they would like to ask me?
Thank you for doing this class. I really appreciate it, and I got a lot out of it today.
Yeah, me too. I feel very inspired.
My pleasure, Jess. Thanks for attending and
Yes, thank
speaking.
you. And I want to say like time blocking, like that's very important. I feel like I need to start doing that because I'm just now starting out. And what you said, like time blocking is like about like prioritizing like the most important things. Like that just, I think that'll help me out.
Well, if you would ever like to sit down with me or come into my office and time block your day out with me for the following day, I would be glad to do that with you.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. We are live class too. So there's a person, Sebastian, on my team, and my wife, and Jess on my team here today in person. So what's up, Sebastian?
I just wanted to say, time blocking is something that helped me a lot with staying on task, but it is definitely something that I had to learn. It's definitely a skill that you have to figure out what the right stuff to put on there is. And I know you can attest to it. A lot of the stuff I put on there in the beginning was like silly stuff that I just wanted to cross off, like Hudson said about people just like to check boxes.
Mhm.
So a lot of the stuff I put on there was like that, and now I'm getting more purposeful with it, and I can see that I'm putting things on there that actually make sense, that are important to my day, to keep me being purposeful. I think it's just definitely something you got to work on.
Mm. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, because it's a lot more than just putting stuff on your to-do list in a specific time. To speak to that, list out all the things you want to do in a given day, and then circle the 20% of all of them that are actually going to help you with your goal of helping a buyer or seller purchase a home and lead generate. As I said, our team is growing. We didn't say that. We are also wanting to coach and train others to become great. Our perspective as a team is we are a small real estate team with the goal to build our systems and models to become the #1 team in Ohio. So although individual agency is for the person who wants to be their own boss, if you don't push really, really hard to achieve your goals, I'd be glad to help push you and help you change fundamentally as a human being alongside a business owner. So that's my plug. The CA Lamb team is the sponsor of this class today. So. But cool. Yeah, thanks for joining in, everybody. I see some messages. Michelle, Jay, Mary, Jess, Emily, thank you so much for joining and sticking through the whole time. I'm always here to help, and have an incredible day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Bye.